RED was founded in 2006 to engage businesses and people in the fight against AIDS. How does RED do that? Well, RED collaborates with the most iconic brands in the world to create RED-branded goods and services. And a percentage of the profit of sales of those goods and services actually goes to fighting to the cause of HIV and AIDS. It goes to the Global Fund. Now, talking about the epidemic of preventable diseases in our country especially, there is no doubt that we've made a tremendous amount of progress. But the truth is that even today, we have 2.1 million people in our country, ladies and gentlemen, that are infected by HIV. 40% of them are women, 7% children. In the year 2016, 80,000 people were newly infected with HIV. The sad part is, once again, most of them happen to be women and teenagers. Well, the only ray of hope in this figure is that this figure is down by 38% in the last decade. According to the Global Fund, by the end of 2014, 9.7 million pregnant women were counseled and tested for HIV in India. However, that still leaves 66% pregnant women who still need HIV care and testing services. The question is, what are we doing about it? So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with RED that has generated more than $475 million, yes, $475 million for the Global Fund to fight AIDS. 100% of that money goes to on-ground with absolutely no overheads. And Global Fund even grants that RED support has impacted more than 90 million people with prevention, treatment, counseling, testing, and care services. Let's talk about Vespa, a model born to celebrate the beauty of a mode of transport and is the first brand from the automotive industry, ladies and gentlemen, to collaborate with RED. Now, throughout its history, yes, throughout its history, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I know, Vespa has been constantly surpassing a bike's core function of being a simple and elegant vehicle and taking it to an extraordinary testament of time, and of course, evolving with the societal changes. Funding an international project of such a high societal sensitivity and impact was only natural and completely resonates with Vespa's DNA and its core values. So, ladies and gentlemen, to talk to us about the Vespa-RED partnership, please help me welcome on stage CEO and MD of Piaggio India, Mr. Diego Graffi.
Thanks, Dinia. First of all, welcome here today. Very happy to be with you today to celebrate this, I would say, important and fundamental moment in the life of our group here in India. We at Piaggio are very proud to announce the expansion of our global partnership with RED organization, with the launch of our brand new Vespa RED model today here in India. Every sale of Vespa RED will generate funds to finance and support the fight against AIDS diffusion here. It is important to underline that cash generated from this important initiative will remain here in India to support and sustain programs with a specific focus on ensuring that HIV-positive women have full access to the services they need to ensure their babies are born HIV-free. Vespa RED India, in fact, can provide more than half a year of life-saving medication for each pregnant mother to keep her alive and prevent from passing the virus to unborn baby. So, thanks a lot to RED organization for joining us today for this very important initiative.
Thank you so much, Mr. Diego. That was truly life-saving news. Well, I'm going to request you to stay with me on stage because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to listen to the red side of the story. Please help me welcome the Director of Partnerships Red, Miss Courtney Istri.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. It is truly an honor to be here today, having flown in from New York yesterday. As Zinnia mentioned, RED's mission is to engage people and businesses in the fight to end AIDS. We are proud to partner with the world's most iconic brands, from Vespa here today, our first auto partner, as well as the likes of Apple. You may have seen the recent launch of the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus here in India, as well as Starbucks, Hyatt and Andaz, Coca-Cola, among others. And these businesses are here fighting AIDS with us, and they generate critical funds for the Global Fund. As Zinnia mentioned, RED was founded 11 years ago by Bono and Bobby Shriver. But today is a really incredible moment in RED's history. Through our partnership with Piaggio Vespa, we are now raising the money to fund Global Fund grants in India for the first time ever. Globally, there are 37 million people living with HIV, with India having the third largest population of those living with the disease. And this disease is both preventable and treatable. So while new infections have declined over a third in the past decade, women and teenagers are still disproportionately affected by this disease. So you guys, as Bono, our RED co-founder, has said, it's not about charity, it's about justice. So please join me in welcoming the new Vespa Red, which is not only a striking color and a gorgeous design, but best yet, it helps us fight AIDS here in India. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the fabulous Courtney. Courtney, like you rightly said, we're ready to introduce the Vespa Red to everyone. But I'd like to quickly invite on stage to join us all the head business two-wheeler India, Mr. Ashish Yakmi. And with that, it is the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Time to introduce you to the Vespa Red. Congratulations on being the first owner of the Vespa Red. Mr. Diego, would you like to have a quick conversation here?
Okay, so Farhan, tell us how is your feeling today in being the very first proud customer of this product.
Well, it always feels good to stand next to something very beautiful. That always does. But yes, thank you very much. I think more importantly than being the owner of the first one, I think is being the owner of something that's very, very important for all of us here today. I feel very proud to be here, very thankful to be here at the launch of the Vespa Red. My congratulations to Team Red, my congratulations to Vespa, to Piaggio, and of course to all of you. Thank you very much for being here. It's very, very important that you share this message with all the people who are watching. I mean, HIV, I'm sure all of you are aware, is something that all of us as a race, the human race, has been dealing with for quite a long time now, for decades now. And now when people are getting together really to push forward initiatives that can help cure people, can help people lead better lives who are already infected with it, it's something that all of us should get together and support. So I'm really thankful for all of you to have me here today. Thank you.
Well, fantastic. And Farhan, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, and I just wanted to add to that, Farhan, we're so moved by your support. Obviously, you have, both professionally and personally supported the AIDS fight and gender inequality, and certainly that's something that we're passionate about. So we're so honored to be working with you on this campaign, and yeah, can't wait to see you around town on this.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I told my daughter before, when I was heading here, so I asked her if she'd like to come with me. She's a bit unwell, so she couldn't come. But she asked me, she's seen it on the web.
Yep.
So she said, "Are they giving you one?" So, so I said, "Well, I hope so."
Yeah.
So then her second question, of course, was, "Can I have it?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, "Yes, sure. Of course, once you learn how to ride it
That's great.
safely, yes, you can."
We have a helmet for her too, so.
Well, so of course, she's got good news. Well, you're the first owner of the Vespa Red. We happen to have some of our first customers in the room right now, Farhan. And since you're here, we'd like to hand over the key to their first Vespa Red. Yeah? So you game for it? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Our first few customers of the Vespa Red. I'd like to invite on stage Mrs. Reema Kunde. Well, next up, I'm going to call our next four customers, Mr. Sukhwinder Singh, Mrs. Mridula Kaur, Mr. Bhupinder Singh, and Mrs. Sukhwinder Kaur. And next up, I'd like to call forward Mr. Anand Singh, Mrs. Sabir Singh, and Mr. Alka Soni. Once again, congratulations to all our new customers. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, it is a revolution and we're going to do all it takes. We're now going to invite all our friends from the media to ask their questions to all our guests on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we have mics floating around. Please ensure that you identify yourself. Also, a humble request to please keep your question brief and to this occasion. So, here we go.
Hello, Farhan sahab.
Ji.
Which vehicle you enjoy driving more, motorbike or scooter?
Sir,
And why?
what I enjoy riding most is my cycle. And because it's healthy, it's good for you, keeps you fit, and keeps the environment clean. That's what I enjoy riding the most. Unfortunately, I can't take it everywhere I go, but given a chance, I would do that.
Hi, Farhan. Aryaman here. Since this is an End AIDS campaign, how often and frequently do you do an AIDS test? And have you actually encountered or met any of the AIDS patients?
Well, I mean, I do an overall health checkup as advised by my doctor once every couple of years. That also includes doing an HIV. Test your blood for everything, including HIV. But that apart, I do have people, I of course don't want to take names of people here, but I do know people who are living with the HIV virus. There are a couple of people also employed by me that have the HIV virus. But the fact is that, I mean, you can continue to live a normal life as long as there's no stigma attached to it. And that's one of the biggest battles, actually, that we as a people have had to deal with, is just coming to terms with the fact that it's just another disease. Yes, of course, it requires another kind of treatment, another kind of cure. But the stigma is very, very huge that's been attached to it. And that's something that has to be gotten rid of as well.
Okay, one question for the brand people is that what kind of budgets have you kept for the Indian market as far as the campaign is concerned?
So, you know, we are starting a campaign from today onwards. It'll be heavily digital focused because most of our audience is contactable through digital today. So, and this campaign will go on at least about 3 to 4 months from today onwards. And we are expecting, you know, good kind of traction coming in because this is for a noble cause. And we hope to do good numbers because each unit sold, $50 goes on to charity. So that's our interest in it. Every outlet, every dealership of ours will have a mini launch happening on the first sold Vespa Red. And that's our plan.
Yeah, Farhan, here, I'm Raj here. What's the USP of this Vespa Red?
What is the USP?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in terms of, I mean, you see how it looks, just to start with. I think that's a big USP of it. Secondly, I think just given, at least I can speak for Mumbai, getting around in Mumbai, a two-wheeler is definitely more useful than being in a car. That's the second thing. As far as, I guess, fuel economies and things go, there are people very well more literate about these things to share all that information with you. But I think the biggest USP, they've just answered here, is that $50 of each sale will go towards dealing with the HIV virus cause. And that to me is probably bigger, you know, a USP than anything else can be as far as the purchase of this scooter is concerned.
Yeah, hi Farhan. Yeah. Yeah, over here.
Yes.
To the left.
I wanted to know whether this Vespa is like how safe it is for the women drivers, like especially in Mumbai.
Ma'am, I think if you have a license and you wear a helmet, it's safe.
No, but Mumbai roads are like so mostly women don't drive. In other cities they do drives.
Right, but we are speaking about another issue
safety
altogether.
features are more incorporated in this. Some safety features like.
Well, unfortunately, I don't
totally
think scooters and motorbikes can come with airbags. That hasn't happened yet. But I think I completely agree with you that the roads in Mumbai especially can be way better. Like I just answered that first question, I do cycle around Mumbai a lot. And it is quite a problem, the roads. But that is a separate issue that has nothing much to do with the safety of this bike. That's an issue into itself. And as far as women riding bikes, actually you see women riding scooters and riding bikes all the time. And I think just as long as you're aware of your surroundings, you're aware of the fact that unfortunately the roads are bad, you know, and you just take care of yourself, that you should be okay. But I don't see any reason why women should not ride it for.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Priyanka.
Oh, and it comes with its own helmet, I've been told. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, this is Priyanka. My question is to brand people, what's the cost of the scooty?
Cost of a scooter will be Maharashtra 87,000 rupee, more or less 86, 87, dealer price, the showroom price, out of which, as said, $50 will go for the initiative.
7,000 INR.
She says 7,000.
No, 87,000. So, 7,000 too low.
Well, do we have any more questions? Okay, the gentleman here in the black shirt.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Aman Ahmed from BBC Top Gear. My first question is, could you share with us the amount Vespa has donated to this cause till date?
So far, globally, I cannot tell you. Let me say, tie up with Vespa, with the Red organization globally is there since 1.5 years ago, if I remember well. To be honest, total contribution, I cannot say.
All right. And just to check on what is the specification of this scooter, is this the 125 or the 150? Yeah. Or
125.
Just the 125. So will it also be available as a 150 or will it just be available as this, the VXL 125?
As initial launch, we are thinking about this engine displacement, but going on, we could think also about expanding gamma to 150. But initially, it is 125.
Okay, thank you.
All right, the lady to our right.
Sir, will you help me out telling me what is the size of the market and what is the size of the Vespa's market share?
You mean overall?
Yeah.
Not Vespa.
Yeah. Market share.
No, I would say we at Piaggio like to see at Vespa as how to say a product different from the other one. So because it's the only scooter in the market with a full sheet metal body, not plastic, full of technology there, a lot of let me say features good for customer experience. So we do not measure the success of a brand of the product in terms of market share. Let me say, we see that a lot of potential is there. We are quite satisfied with the results that we have got so far. We have more than double sales in respect to last year. We are doubling our sales network. We see a lot of happy customers. Word of mouth is very good. Out of a product, we see a lot of comments on web that they feel proud of riding a Vespa every day. This is our, let me say, what makes us proud. Is around 45, 50 kilometers, depends on how fast you drive.
Do we have any more questions? All right, the gentleman to our right.
Hi, Farhan. I'm a dealer of Vespa in Goa, the place where you shot your first movie, Dil Chahta Hai.
That's right.
It's been a cult for people of my generation. I'm a great fan of your acting. You're a very versatile actor. When can we see you back to directing movies?
Wow. Well, this is a completely separate kind of discussion to be had. But I have very fond memories of making Dil Chahta Hai in Goa. I have many fond memories of coming to Goa subsequently after that on many, many occasions. I look forward to coming back there, and I'll come meet you and we'll go for a Vespa ride together.
Yeah, that's you. That's you in Goa.
I think that was all we wanted. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually all the time that we have for this morning. So it is a wrap. Farhan, thank you so much for supporting this noble cause. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have one final round of applause for the Vespa Red and the Red Revolution? Courtney, Diego, Mr. Ashish, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations on the launch of the Vespa Red. I think we need to get a couple of good shots of you for next 30 seconds. 30 seconds?